Welcome back to our next exciting episode of Uncivil Discourse, hosted by Lee,
Hey, everybody.
myself, and our guest commentator this year, Laura.
Hello.
All right, everybody. So we've been mentioning throughout the seasons a little bit about Killer's Corner. This is a situation where we keep track of which mechs kill which mechs, how many they get kills for, how many times they've died, and what that leads to is a ranking of 1 to 20. Now, I don't think we're going to go through them all, but Laura, why don't you take us into a little bit of information about Killer's Corner?
For bragging rights only, because it really doesn't matter. On top, and this is the only reason he brings it up right now, is Brett. Ghost Legion Wolverine has 12 kills for, has died 3 times, with a differential of 9. Coming in second, Lee with Dead Man's Hand. His Banshee has 13 kills, but has died 4 times, with also a differential of 9. It's the only time Brett's going to be on top.
The only reason why he brought it up, because he passed me.
Yep. I don't like seeing number 3, because he's my next opponent. We've got Matt with Cat's Cavalry. His Blood Asp has 8 kills for, has not died at all, for a differential of 8. In 4th spot, we have Wendigo's Night Stalker. His Xanthos has 11 kills, has died 3 times, with a differential also of 8. Yogi's Jaegers in 5th has the same. His Daishi has 11 kills for, 3 deaths, differential of 8. 6, we have Scions of Amaris. The Cataphract has 8 kills, 1 death, for a differential of 7.
Not because it's a killer, just because everybody ignores it and it's like last mech standing.
That's sometimes how it goes. Number 7, the Black Wake. The Crockett has 8 kills, 1 death, for a differential of 7.
I gotta say, the Cataphract and the Crockett are probably for the same reasons. Everyone's like, what is that? And why is it shooting at me? And then just moves on to something else.
Yeah, I'm not going to worry about it, whatever. Number 8, we have Hank's Handy's Gunslinger. 9 kills, 2 deaths, for a differential of 7.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. My gunslinger always has gauze rifles explode or legs pop off, and his is like, yeah, nobody just sort of engages with it. Chump.
Because it's you.
Except when it faced against me.
Well, that would be one of 2.
We have in 9th, the Ice Creamer Zeus with the same. 9 kills, 2 deaths, differential of 7.
That's another one that's just like, I'm standing, therefore I get kills.
Yep.
And rounding out the top 10 is the Scion's second mech, the Hunchback, with 9 kills, 2 deaths, differential of 7.
At least Hunchbacks earn what they kill.
Yeah, it's got a lot of medium lasers. It does a lot of shooty.
I'm glad I don't face it. And that wraps up top 10 Killer's Corner. Now we do have 2 games left, so that top 10 isn't going to stay the same. So keep a watch for Lee to post the new standings. We'll readdress and go over probably the top 20 mechs in between regular season and playoffs, just to give some people, Brett maybe, bragging rights.
This week's special announcements, Brett's a bitch. He didn't bring up any of the Killer's Corner before he was the top of the heap. Alright, I'm still chasing you. I'm pretty sure I can take it back before the end of the regular season because we play next.
Yeah, so one of us is going to kill the other one, and they're going to get up.
Yeah, with 2 weeks left to go in the regular season play, the top spot is still really tightly contested, so you're absolutely right. It's going to bounce back and forth. One good week or one horrible one could change the fortunes of anyone in the top 20. That's not just Killer's Corner. That's the regular standings as well. It's still really tightly contended.
Wait, how do I have to resolve my next 2 games to finish like 6th?
Just keep doing what you're doing. This also brings to mind that skill spends are now done for the year. All 32 points or 28 has been issued. If you have any left over, it's now important to listen to this next part. If you have any points left over, think it through and get them through before the Tuesday after week 10. That's December 17th. So please send them in anytime between now and then. Obviously, it'll only apply to the next game or the game after, so Game 9's coming up. Any skill spends now will apply for Game 10. And if you don't get the spends in before Game 10, I guess...
They're just lost at this point in time.
Yeah, I'm not even going to say the Tuesday. It's going to have to be game day. If they're not in, get before game day 10. So, and if it's an engineering skill, you're probably going to get it denied. You got to get into it so we get those skill spends. Because if the date goes by, you lose the points because you cannot buy skill spends during the playoffs.
That will take us into skill spends for basically the last time. We have Wendigo's Night Stalkers, their Marshal picks up target lock.
Laser Force, the Thug, takes field test.
Umber's Revenge, the Catapult takes piloting.
The Black Wake, Phoenix Hawk picks up mobile fire.
The Collection Agency, the Kintaro, takes Underworld Contacts for a Beagle active probe, and their Highlander takes Impatient.
Lights Out, their King Crab uses their Veteran to grab Lost Tech, and the Griffin picks up Anticipation.
Neutro Reavers, the Tomahawk picks up piloting.
And Scar's Outlaws, their Elementals take Cram, and then also take Veteran to get multitasking.
Ward's Warwolves, the Day Sheep picks up Camouflage.
Ghost Legions, Wolverine picks up Procrastination.
Blitzkrieg Jezebels, banked this week.
Odin's Chosen, the Shadowhawk took Intercept and Bribery.
The Wolfpack, Phoenix Hawk picks up piloting.
Warthog's Revenge, their Thunderbolt, takes Lead the Target, and their Marauder takes Speed Demon.
The Paxton Pathfinders, their Phoenix Hawk takes Tactics, and the Gunslinger takes Impatient.
Clan Cobra Chicken, the Stalker takes Stand and Deliver.
House Psychotic Weasel, the Grand Titan takes Search Protect, and his Rifleman takes Tactics.
First Alliance Grenadiers, they bank.
Lyran Rangers, the Scorpion picks up Gunnery.
Hank's Handies, Wolverine takes Field Test.
Red Sun's Irregulars, the Mauler takes Wily Veteran and Slippery. The Night Sky takes Procrastination, and the Penetrator uses up their Veteran skills to take Long Jumper.
Ice Creamers, Blackhawk Coup takes Procrastination.
And the Elk Riders decided to bank this week.
Dead Man's Hand, the Hatchet Man picks up Gunnery. Pew pew, pew pew.
Fourth Taurian Protectorate, the Archer, uses Veteran and picks up Lethargic.
Scions of Amaris, their Templar takes Veteran to get Personal Vendetta.
Steel Shod Shamble, their Penetrator takes Anticipation, and the Wolverine takes Procrastination.
League of Robots, Highlander picks up Gunnery, and the Devastator picks up Gunnery.
Risten's Rogues, their Marauder 2 takes Slippery, and the Wraith gets Technician.
Cat's Nightingale Cavalry, the Blood Asp takes Piloting.
Neon Grizzlies, Fenris picks up Courage, and the Elementals pick up Long Jumper.
Yogi's Jaegers, Elementals also take Long Jumper.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, I think everybody that had Elementals has Long Jumper on them this year.
Yeah, it's kind of a given one. it works really well. Anything to get those little buggers in closer.
Jump 4 battle armor? Yes, please.
We do have some skill corrections from last week. Mech Jitsu was purchased by Risten's Rogue's Grasshopper, not the Wraith, as we reported. We now have 3 players with outstanding points to spend.
Use them or lose them. All right, let's take a look and see how Week 8 games played out and how they may be impacting our leaderboard. Game number 1, Lights Out versus the League of Robots. These teams have a picnic in the Central Park Arena, playing it out for a 2-0 League of Robots victory. Apparently, the city did not help C3.
Game number 2, the 4th Taurian Protectorate up against the Elk Riders. The Foothills Arenas lets the Taurans protect what is theirs. They come out of this match with a 4-0 win, with the Austin doing some serious work with those overcharged PPCs, picking up 3 of the kills.
Game number 3, the Black Wake versus the Thumper's Revenge. Little surprise ending here, folks, as the mention demonstrates how much speed it can put out running around the Bloody Basin and taking out the Thug. Meanwhile, the Black Wake Crockett lights up every bin of ammo in the Crusader carrying and kills the pilot. 1-1 tie game. Yay, it was a spectacular light show.
I think you have now taken the title back.
I do. I have the league record for tie games.
Game number 4, Cat's Cavalry versus the Neon Grizzlies. Unforeseen situations arise as the Cavalry are unable to show for this match. 2-0 Grizzlies win, and this is part of the reason that Blood Asp on Killer's Corner has 0 deaths.
That means he's putting in serious work when he is there.
But it also can't get killed when he's not there.
True. Game number 5, the Blitzkrieg Jezebels up against Yogi's Jaggers in the Ghost Lakes, formerly the Mountain Lakes. This arena sees a 1-1 tie, and it's our second tie this week.
Game number 6, Odin's Chosen versus the Laser Force. They make use of Outlaw Ranch to throw down and see who the team with the better luck is. Turns out, it's the Laser Force with a 1-0 win as the Marauder takes some LRM fire, then a PPC to the head.
Game number 7, the Wolf Pack versus Ansgar's Outlaws. The Outlaws pull all the dirty tricks they can today, sliding around the Grasslands arena. Despite the Shadowcat failing a mass check on turn 2, they managed to pull out a 3-1 victory today.
Game number 8, the Lyran Rangers up against Clan Cobra Chickens, fighting over the forward comm center. The Lyrans feed the chickens a shellacking. Barbecue. They ended up eating all 4 bird mechs for dinner. 4-1 Rangers win.
Way to go, Carlo.
Game number 9, Paxton's Pathfinders versus the First Alliance Grenadiers. This match is played out in the Large Lakes Arena, where the Pathfinders have a very bad day. The Gunslinger falls down and destroys itself at one point. Final score, 4-0 Grenadiers.
Game number 10, the Steelshod Shamble versus the Ghost Legion. Lunar Bullshit sees some more of what it got its name for today. Turn 6, the Penetrator falls down, bonks the pilot, and goes for a nap. Gunslinger makes sure he does not wake up again afterwards. Not so much longer, and the Charger goes down under the fire from the Devastator, and then things just keep sliding out from under the Shamble. I believe the Devastator took 2 pilot hits from overcharged PPCs in that one shellacking, but it ends up being Ghost Legion 4-1 final score.
Game number 11, the Warwolves up against Hank's Handies. The Tundra Arena is very good for Hank's mech jocks today, leaving them with a 4-2 happy ending over the Clanners.
Game number 12, the Ice Creamers go up against the Warthog's Revenge. Rolling Hills hosts today's match as the Warthogs eat all the ice cream. Game ends 4-2. So, not a total shutout, but definitely a close win for the Hogs.
Game number 13, Risten's Rogues versus the Red Sun Irregulars. Grasslands host this match. So many headshots today, it seems like everyone is taking hits to the dome. The Mauler gets a kick to the head of the Wraith, The Grasshopper does a successful death from above against the Mauler afterwards, and the game ends in a 3-3 tie.
Game number 14, the Neutral Reavers up against the Collection Agency. The city is a great place to fight clanners. The Plaza Arena starts off strong for the Collection Agency, but in the end of the day, the wheels fall off that bus. 4-2, Neutral Reavers final score.
Game number 15, Dead Man's Hand versus the Wendigo Night Stalkers. Slipping and sliding on the gravel experience, this game is actually really close. So much damage back and forth, with all but one unit destroyed at the end. Dead Man's Hand drop the cards and get 4 of a kind for a 4-3 final score, only the Hatchet Man still mobile on the field.
And barely. I had a gyro hit, an engine hit, my front armor was gone. The last round of fire, I shot his Xanthos, not giving it 1 or 2 gyro hits, and the fall killed it. His damage to me hit a gyro and an engine. Totally open torsos. I think my right torso or left torso was like only a couple of points left, so if damage had done to that, it would have died and we would have gotten our first 4-4 tie.
Try harder next time. Oh wait, you're up against me. I guess we're going to try harder for that next time. This time.
We're both going to have to.
Game number 16, House Psychotic Weasel versus the Scions of Amaris. The Desert Oasis is a pretty arena. I always enjoy seeing games played here. When things start going sideways, though, they go sideways hard for the Weasels today, ending in a 4-0 loss. Congratulations, Scions of Amaris. And this is going to take us into the interview this week. Take it away, Heather, and let's hear what you got to say.
Welcome back to another Battle Babes interview. This is Battle Babe 1, Heather, and I'm here with Brett, one of our amazing admin for the Calgary Battletech League. How are you doing?
I'm not too bad. I've been training at work all week, so it's been some long days and a little bit exhausting, as well as, this 2 feet of snow getting up in the morning to scrape the car isn't awesome, but it's Alberta in November. What else can you expect?
Very, very true, but honestly, I'd rather have a little bit of snow than it going back to minus 30.
I'd rather have minus 30 with no snow than a bunch of snow and like minus 5.
Yeah.
I can deal with cold. I can put on extra layers. I can sit on a heating pad. Snow is just inconvenient and makes a mess of everything, except when it just falls. When it just falls, it's so pretty. That lasts for like 20 minutes.
Oh yeah. Maybe a few hours, depending if it's like the middle of the night or something, but yeah, I guess. So your game last week, how did that go?
It was pretty smooth. I played Kale, one of our newer players, but one of the guys from Wasted Potential that I invited to play the game, and he played, and now he's like all in. He's one of the ones that's going to Vegas with me, so that'll be kind of cool.
Woohoo!
But yeah, it started off is he's got 4 zombie mechs,
Oh.
and I've got 3 mechs with XL engines, and my whole thing is 585 for my 3 mechs and then a gunslinger. I went into it feeling kind of apprehensive, being like, that's a lot of armor that I have to try and get through. And he just sort of has to kind of clip me a couple of times, and some of my stuff's going to go down. So I ended up, I think it was like round 4 or 5. His penetrator slipped and fell, failed a piloting check on a 6, rolled a 4, failed the seatbelt check, rolled snake eyes, knocked himself unconscious, and my gunslinger was like, you're not getting up again.
Yeah.
Killed that man. Then like the next turn he took out my charger, and I'm like, okay, I traded 1 for 1, but I can't keep doing this because he's got just so much more tonnage than me. And that actually, it just sort of went downhill from there. At one point in time, all 3 of his mechs were laying on the ground unconscious. It literally went right off the rails for him.
Oh no.
Yeah, he fired all 4 of the Devastator's PPCs with the capacitors on them and took 2 feedbacks in that round, and I think he went unconscious there, and then never really had a chance to get up or wake up again. Yeah, like his assault mechs were just 5 rounds or 4 rounds of getting pummeled while being unconscious on the ground.
Yeah, you can't really do anything about that.
Nope.
No, but rolling and failing on a 6, that's rough.
Yeah, I mean, it happens to the best of us, and you're like,
Oh,
okay,
God,
so
yeah.
I failed my first piloting check or second piloting check, whatever, it was a 6. And then you fall down and you're like, oh, I failed my seatbelt check, yeah, okay. And then you roll the dice for consciousness, and most of the time you don't even look at them because you need a 3 or better on the first one. And then we look over and we're like snake eyes. We're like, that mech's not going to have a very good next turn.
Nope. Yeah, prone. and unconscious.
Yep, prone and unconscious against the C3 network. Realistically, I'm like, everybody that can, target the center torso of that zombie and just hammer it. And we did, and it didn't get up.
Make it see-through. Yeah, put a nice big hole in it.
Yep, because otherwise he was just going to sponge up so much damage with that 75-ton penetrator. And I'm like, I can't afford 4 turns to try and kill that.
In my game against Will this last week, if he had not fallen down and knocked himself out, we wouldn't have gotten the tie. He would have got the win. I look at it, I'm like, oh, that sucks, but it's part of the game.
It really is. And I mean, I've taken mechs that have fallen down and killed themselves multiple times in a season. So I know how much that the piloting check and just missing that can matter. Piloting is a unsung skill that I think way more people should invest in.
Oh, absolutely. I think piloting skills are pretty good if you're able to make the points work. Like with me, from a quad, I had to get turrets on those suckers. Well, that 2 week suspense that I definitely couldn't use piloting.
There's usually something somewhere that could really benefit with it, and I do believe trying to squeeze it in some fashion. I forever always will play with a 55-ton medium, almost without question, and it will usually get either straight up piloting or melee expert, which gives you the effective -1 to all piloting checks in the physical phase. So to make your kick, make your stand check after missing a kick, it's not quite the same, but it has other benefits as well.
Well, and being able to have those and look at it, I very rarely get into the melee action, so I wouldn't think about taking something like that.
And last year I put straight up piloting on my Black Knight because it just kept falling down because it was 75 tons, it only goes 4/6. And it's forever and always getting hurt. You know what? +1 for 20 points of damage or more? Yeah, I'll put piloting on that and make my normal stand checks at a 5-up.
Yeah, if you can do something to help that out to reduce those numbers, even by 1, that can make a big difference.
I really looked at taking a Bashaman this turn, which is the 45-ton Draconis Combine quad, because I was going to take it and that was going to be like my spotter mech. But then I'm like, no, challenge accepted. I'm putting a Charger on the field because nobody likes a Charger.
So why don't people like Chargers?
Well, traditionally, it is an 80-ton mech that has about 65 to 70% armor, and it is known for having 6 small lasers as its guns.
Ugh.
On an 80-tonner. Or you get some of the other variants, like the variant I started with, which is the Draconis Combine one. It's the K, and it starts with 4 mediums and an LRM-20 going 4.64. Still only like 67% armor on it, though, as an 80-ton heavy, or an 80-ton assault mech. That just doesn't stand up to much of anything.
No.
It's a mech that has always put so much weight into its engine that it doesn't really have anything left over for anything else.
Oh.
But I put an XL engine in it and made it go 5.85, so now at least has a defensive modifier. The armor bumped up to about 84%, I think it is. Still only has 4 medium lasers and an LRM-20 on an 80-ton mech, but it makes for one hell of a spotter for a C3 network.
Yeah, and that's, for some reason, I would think that that would be one that people might be like, oh, I'm going to try and take that one out. You might be able to use it as like a deterrent.
Yeah, and I mean, it may not have the best armor, but it definitely has more armor than a Phoenix Hawk or something somebody would traditionally use as a spotting mech.
There you go. Like, there's certain things that you have to look at in other capacities. Like, yeah, you might want to have these crazy guns, but depending what you're going to use the mech for, maybe it doesn't need to have crazy guns as long as it has something and can be used for what its purpose is.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely using an assault mech for a scout mech role, and that just doesn't qualify for most people.
Hey, whatever works. Whatever works.
So I leaned into it. I also put Berserker Rage on it.
Okay, what does that one do again?
Berserker Rage, when activated, gives you a 2-point penalty to all of your shooting attacks, which, oh no, either an LRM-20 at long range or 4 medium lasers at short range. Who really cares? Not losing out on a whole lot of damage there. But it gives you melee expert, which changes your piloting to 1 point better on anything physical attack related. It makes you attack as if you're 10 tons heavier, so I'm a 90 ton instead of an 80 ton doing physicals. And the big thing is that it allows you to do punch, punch, kick.
Oh, that's an interesting skill.
Yeah, so I sacrificed my shooting with the guns, which is not super horrible, because as I said, it's like 4 medium lasers, who cares? But even
Yeah.
then, I'm using a C3 network, so I can probably be at short range anyway. The real thing is that I'm throwing 3 physical attacks, probably going to land at least 2 of them, which means that you're taking more than 20 points of damage in the phase, and one of them's a kick. So you're probably making 2 piloting checks.
Okay. How would that work for quad? Do I get to do 2 kicks and a mule kick, or?
So the quad would end up being able to do 2 kicks in different arcs.
Oh, okay. Well, that's horrible.
It's not horrible, but how often are you going to be in a position where you can kick like some guy on your left and some guy on your right?
True, but hey, that'd be kind of fun.
Now, the quad kind of equivalent is Crazy Horse, which Jay
Yep.
took on his Xanatos, which that does let him rear up and do 2 kicks in the front or the mule kick in the back. Yeah, it's pretty entertaining for that one.
Well, I still have 2 weeks of spends to do before the end of the season for the last game, I guess.
Oh, you're one of those people.
I am. Hey, I was doing parent council stuff. I couldn't get out of it, and it had to be done. You know me. I never get stuff done on time when it's like a 3-day turnaround. I can't think that fast.
It's not like you didn't have 8 weeks of notice.
No, shut up. I can't think that far ahead. It has to be right after the game. And we started talking about it, and then we got distracted. And then Lee even reminded me on the day at like 3 or 3:30. I'm like, well, I got to get this done. And I worked on parent council fundraising stuff till, I don't know, 6 o'clock that night. So my own fault. But still, I got some points. So maybe I'll put Kicking Horse on my tarantula for the last game.
Well, you're going to have like roughly 14 days here to get those skill spend in. So time is a ticket.
Time is a ticket. Yeah. Let's see what happens when there's 2 days left and I still haven't done it.
It's only going to affect your playoff ability.
Right? So your game, what was the final score?
It was 4-1. He managed to get the charger early, and then just he couldn't kill anything after that because he spent too much time being unconscious.
Being unconscious or being a fish. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, being a fish out of water is not fun. So going forward, I know your next game. A bunch of us would love to be able to watch it. That's you against our other amazing admin, Lee. What are you thinking about that game?
Oh, I think I'm just going to throw that one and let Lee win, just so he has bragging rights and can just feel better about himself.
Oh my god. Yeah, let's not get into that right now, because oh, he would shoot you.
Realistically, I think the game could kind of go either way. I think I am a slightly better player than he is, but I know he is a much luckier player than I am. Generally speaking, if I have luck, it's probably bad luck. Losing legs to floating criticals, falling down on my own ammo, and cascading to blow up my Atlas 3 times in one season.
Wow.
My entire lance failing 39 pilot checks in a single game.
Ooh.
If I have bad luck, that's the luck I'm having. If I can be average, I can usually play out wins. Oh yeah, that was also a season where I had piloting on the Black Knight already at that point, and I still failed that many piloting checks in a single game.
Oh my goodness. That is brutal.
The Black Knight itself failed 13.
Oh my gosh. I don't think I've lost that many in a game. I don't even think I've had to roll that many in a game.
Yep. Well, there was points where I was like, okay, so I fall down this turn. Cool. Next turn, I try to get up on a run. Well, that's 2 movement points fail. Try it again. Another 2 movement points fail. Yeah, try it another 2 movement points and fail. Yeah, I needed like 6s on those ones because I had like a injured arm or something. And it's like, yep, this is how the game's gonna go.
I should just lay here and prop and fire.
But I can't. I can't just lay here and prop and fire because I need like 6s to stand.
Oh, yeah, no, at 6s, yeah, you should be rolling on that. Absolutely.
Yeah, and then even when you lose an arm with a piloting on it, you're still needing, well, 2 for the missing arm, 1 for the piloting. Oh, look, 6s.
Oh, so yeah, okay. You'd want to do that, but with your luck, I don't know, at that point in time, I'd be like, can I just find a bunker?
It is what it is. Sometimes that's the way the dice roll.
Oh my goodness, absolutely.
I think it's probably going to be a 4-3 game, and I'm pretty confident that I will beat him. But if I lose, I'll let him think that, it's all because of him.
It's all because of him. Well, hey, I do that on a regular basis.
Yeah, but I can't make him sleep on the couch.
Well, I know this was last minute, Brett, and I really do appreciate you hopping on. What other things do you like to do?
So every second Saturday, I host a dinner party where I cook for everybody, and then we play a role-playing game afterwards. It's kind of like our just social gathering. For the most part, it's a dinner party that we then game afterwards, depending on the campaign. Sometimes it's, hey, let's eat quick because we have D&D to play, or whatever the situation may be. Every Tuesday night, I go to Men's Mental Health Night, which is at the Den, where we basically show up. We will play a little bit of 40K, and then we'll go to the bar and we'll just sort of sit and spend time with a safe environment of people that you know. Because, I mean, men don't talk about anything.
Nope.
Just to talk about stuff. But if you are standing there talking with a friend and rolling some dice and shooting the shit, sometimes you can have that outlet where you don't feel like you're imposing on anybody. I find that really important.
Well, and you're not the center of attention, even though you are the center of attention. I totally get it.
Yeah, because the game is the center of the attention. There's you and one other person, and you've got a social contract where you're going to be there for a couple of hours, but it's supposed to be an enjoyable experience for both involved, and that usually means, hey, you're not going to unload on them. But also, if it's somebody that's a trusted friend, or afterwards at the bar, you know, you go for wings and a beer or something, then you also still have that, you know, here's a group of people that like spending time with me. Here's a group of people that enjoy my company and are enhanced by it. So that's really, really important to me for men's mental health. I basically will forever try and throw that as one of the best things that you can support a man in your life, whether you have a brother, a son, or an uncle, a spouse. Let them find or help them find an outlet where they can interact with other people and encourage it. Hobbies are hugely beneficial to mental health, and it should be encouraged.
Oh, I absolutely agree. And women do it all the time. But guys, yeah, they go to hockey or whatever, but they don't think of it as oh, I'm going for my mental health. But actually saying, yeah, it's men's mental health night. Well, okay, you're not sitting down and breaking things down, but be getting together and sometimes just being with them can be so huge. Though living out in Strathmore, Lee doesn't have the same kind of chance. But even just for him getting online and playing War Thunder with Jeff or whatever with Bruce or whatever online, it's absolutely, even though being in person is, I can't say always better, but most of the time it is.
There's no substitute for face-to-face interactions with people, but there are ways that can supplement that if it's not an available situation.
Making sure that it's with comfortable people is so huge, and that's one thing with our league that I really love, is that even if we're not all buddy and everything, I know for a fact that most guys, if not everybody in league, would do something for anybody. I know that we have such a good community, and I just love it.
Yeah, the gaming community used to have such a stigma of, oh, that's a bunch of nerds, they're antisocial, they're, you know, they have something wrong with them because they're just that kind of people. But when you get to know them, gamers are, by and large, some of the most supportive, most reliable, responsible people, because you're having a social contract with whoever you're sitting there. You are agreeing before anything even starts that you're going to be a decent human being and that you're going to respect the other person for 2 to 5 to 10 hours, depending on what the situation is.
Yeah. Well, I'm just looking at our time, and
Got to come to an end at some point.
Yes, it does. It does. Well, thank you for popping on with me, Brett. Good luck for the rest of your season.
Yeah, you as well. I mean, it's not over yet.
Still 2 more games of regular season, and then let's see how playoffs go.
Alrighty, have a good one, Heather.
I'm ready to go. Who's stopping me?
Well, thanks, Heather. That was a great interview. It's been good this year. The interviews have gotten more and more interesting, especially getting to know new people, and of course hearing from some old bugger. This will lead us into our Week 9 matches. Game number 1, we have the Elk Riders. 1 bye win, 5 losses, 2 ties. So 1 bye win, 5 losses, 2 ties. They're up against the Wolf Pack with 1 win, 6 losses, and 1 tie. I'd have to say these two teams on record are close. Wolf Pack has an actual earned win, but he's also lost a game, 1 more than the Elk Riders had. I am going to say Wolf Pack. He's just got too much experience. I think it's going to be the Wolf Pack, and it's going to be a 4-2.
Oh, so how do we do this? Because I know Alex was joking about, I'm looking at the standings, and there's a different person in the league who's trying to go for last place, So if I play really bad and lose my next 2 games, I could beat him out of that. But no, I can't vote against him, and I know he wouldn't play like that. So I'm also going to say the Wolfpack, probably with a 3-1 victory.
I don't know, they do have really close standings.
So call it tie.
Oh, I'm not calling a tie for my kid. Jesus.
Yeah, he wouldn't be okay with that.
No, I've already done that once this year. I am his one tie.
Can I change my vote to a tie now? Can I change it to a tie now?
No, I think Alex is going to win. He does have more experience. He might not be having as great a year as he did last year. I think Alex is going to win. I think it'll be a 3-2.
So you see what she did there, Lee? She took my kills for and your kills against.
Yeah. There is only so many combinations, dude. We can read into them as much as we want because there's only so many combinations.
Game number 2, Thumper's Revenge. Lacking wins, 4 losses and 4 ties currently, versus Cat's Cavalry with 4 wins, 4 losses, and 0 ties. These numbers read very dyslexically similar, so let's see how this game plays out. Cat's Cavalry is a strong player, he's got clan tech, but it's getting into December, and roads suck, and he lives out of town, and work might call him into jobs. I'm gonna vote Cat's Cavalry with a 3-1 victory on this one, although I'd love to see the Thumpers come out and just kill something. At the very least, I want to see that Blood Ash die.
I'd love to say, Laura, that you're going to win. I think you're completely capable of winning. I say this every week.
100% capable of getting a 2-0 win.
Yep. I think Brett's high, though. It's going to be a 2-something, and I'm not quite sure who's going to win it. Cat's Cavalry does have clan tech, but he's got 4 earned losses. Right? I think one of them is
3.
One
He's
or
missed
two
3
is-
games.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, so only one of them's actually been earned.
Yes.
All right, so I'm still going to say it's Cat's Cavalry, but I think it's going to be a 2-1. I think you're going to be close to tying him, if not beating him, Laura. I think it's going to be a very close fight, though.
And I can't vote for Cat's Cavalry because I can't vote against myself.
That's a Lee situation. I 100% believe you can say.
Yeah, but it looks bad if you do, though. You vote for the other guy and then you lose.
No, we're all morally straight enough away that you can actually call a game legitimately how you think it's going to.
And Laura, of all the members in League, I cannot see you throwing a game so that you don't win. Right. Oh no, I can't break my perfect tie record.
Be happy with a tie.
You could totally make another tie. Call this one your tie. Your 4 non-wins, you fought people to a standstill. So they're nothing to be ashamed of.
Yeah, but I'd like to win at least one.
Yeah, you've got Jared at the end. You're going to beat him.
Even if I've got to bribe him to throw the match.
Oh, don't do that. I'm mostly optimistic that I'm gonna win. I'm also mostly optimistic that it's probably gonna be a tie. But if I win, I think it'll be a 3-2. Game number 3, we have the League of Robots with 4 wins, 3 losses, and 1 tie, going up against the Black Wake with 2 wins, 5 losses, and 1 tie. I don't want Jared to have any more wins because he's my game 10.
Or, conversely, he uses all of his luck in this game, blows it out 4-0, and then has nothing but bad luck against you.
Yes, I could
Be
go
okay with that?
too. Yeah, I don't know. I do honestly think the Black Wake is going to win. I think they're actually having a bit stronger season despite the standings. It's just, what am I going to call the score? I think this will actually be, I hate to sound like Aaron, close. But I think the Black Wake's going to get it. I think it's going to be 4-3.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Black Wake 4-3.
I like the Black Wake's technology, the way he's spread it across his lance. League of Robots has struggled this season. Luck was a big part of it.
Dude, turn 3, the Black Wake's Phoenix Hawk came over and ECM podded my gunslinger and was like, no network for you this game.
Yeah. But his lance, the technology is working really well on his lance, and he's playing well. I think he's just had his poor luck. I am actually going to say that the Black Wake's going to win as well. I think it's going to be a 4-2. Game number 4, we have Laser Force. 4 wins, 3 losses, 1 tie. They're up against the 4th Torian Protectorate with 1 win, 5 losses, 2 ties. Laser Force has had a good season. Like, if you take a look at his win-loss record, it's actually sitting quite well. He's batting significantly over 500. Torian Protectors had a very disappointing season. Things are not going the way that they wanted to. I am going to say... I'm going to go with Laser Force. I haven't really been cheering for them this year. I really need to get on that. I'm going to say Laser Force is going to get their 5th win, and it's going to be a 3-1.
I'm going to go all in. 4th Torian Protectorate is coming out of this game with a 4-2 victory.
I'm going to agree with Brett. 4th Torian is going to win. But I think it's actually going to be Lee's score. 4th Torian is going to win 3-1.
Game number 5, Yogi's Jaegers with 3 wins, 2 losses, and 3 tie games. Up against the Lyran Rangers with 1 win, 6 losses, and 1 tie. This is a tough game. I really want to see the Rangers continue on their winning streak, and I know that they've got a shot at this match here, but Yogi's Jaegers has a really solid lance. Until you make the Hellbringer fall down on his Gauss rifle and explode it and mess with his pilot. I think this is probably going to be... Oh, to hell with it. I'm going to vote for the Lyran Rangers 2-1 because I want to see them win.
Bill's got a actually really strong lance this year. The only thing that I don't... The Hellbringer is not weak. It's 5.85. It's not a bad mech.
No jump.
Okay, sorry.
Just 5.8.
It's not a bad mech. 5.8 is fast. It's a heavy mech. It's got a Gauss rifle, an LB5X, I believe, and some other weapons.
That pair of ATMs.
Yeah, but for the most part, it's a Gauss rifle. It's a mobile Gauss rifle. But his Daishi is an absolute murder machine. I'm going to say the Yogi Jaegers are going to win this. So they're going to win it decisively. It's going to be a 3-0.
No credit at all for the Lyran Rangers and their heavy Gauss rifles.
He doesn't have to get within 13 hexes, and Will doesn't like to advance.
No, Will likes to stay far out. I'd like to say the Lyran Rangers is going to get a 2nd win, but I don't think so. I think Yogi's is going to get another win. But I don't think it's going to be a super high scoring game. I think Brett's right. I think it'll be 2-1, but it'll be Yogi's Jaegers. Game number 6. Odin's Chosen with 2 wins, 1 of which is a bye win, 6 losses and 0 ties, going up against the Neon Grizzlies with 5 wins, 1 of which is a bye win, 2 losses and 1 tie. Hands down, Neon Grizzlies are going to win. It's going to be 3-1.
I'm still disappointed that he didn't actually field the Grizzly. I can't blame him. He took a Timberwolf S, and that's hard to pass up. You can't name yourself the Grizzlies and not have a Grizzly. Scott.
Yeah, but if he took a Grizzly, I would have killed it anyway.
Yes. I agree with Laura. This is totally going to be a Neon Grizzlies victory. They are going to take the Odin's Chosen behind the wood pile and do naughty, naughty bear things to them. But I think it's going to be a 4-1.
The Neon Grizzlies are a potentially A side tender. He is just knocking on the door for it. I think he might actually be in the running for A side already. Neon Grizzlies is in 7th right now. I don't think Odin's Chosen are ready for this level of violence. I think it's going to be a 4-1 as well for the Neon Grizzly. Game number 7, we have the Ansgar's Outlaws with 4 wins, 3 losses, 1 tie, up against the Blitzkrieg Jezebels, who has 4 wins, one of which is a bye win, 2 losses, 2 ties. Well, I was almost in the doghouse last week. When I finally told her I'd voted against her, the look on her face, you guys saw it, I was in a lot of trouble. But she tied the game.
Yeah, if you weren't driving, you might not have been allowed home.
Yeah. She tied the game, so she didn't lose. But it pretty much what I expected to happen happened. It was a really slow, fun game. Not a lot of kills. Ansgar's Outlaws has been playing steady all season. They're a really good team in the sense that they've played in League long enough to be real comfortable with it. Heather's been with us since Season 1. Her Lance, she is darn comfortable with it. Even if she does make mistakes, she's been doing a pretty good job of clawing it back so it doesn't hurt her too badly. This is going to be the Blitzkrieg Jezebels. I think they're going to get their next honest-to-goodness win, which is going to put them probably sitting at very close to the top in B. I'm going to say it is going to be a 3-2.
I agree with you that it's going to be 3-2, but I think the Outlaws are going to take it this time.
This isn't fair.
Vote for the tie. Vote for the tie.
No, I don't want somebody else to get another tie.
No more ties except for Laura.
She can't beat me in ties anyway.
Yeah, so it doesn't threaten your placement.
They're both strong teams. This is a really hard decision. But yeah, that look of utter disgust when Lee admitted that he thought she was going to lose. I duck and cover. I think Heather has it in her to get another win. I think she's going to do it against Corey. I think she's going to get... I don't think she's going to get 3. I think it'll be 2-1 for the Jezebels. Game number 8. Clan Cobra Chickens, 0 wins, 7 losses, and 1 tie. Going up against Lights Out. 2 wins, 6 losses, and no ties. Paul actually has a pretty decent lance this year. He's having fun with it. I think Lights Out are going to win. I think it'll actually be... I think it'll be 3-1.
Well, if Paul's plan was to be solidly in C and have a very good chance of taking the C Division Championship, I think the plan's working. 8 games, he's been kind of hot and cold. He missed a few, but since he's got back, he's won a couple as well, so that's good. I think he's going to win this one. It's going to be Lights Out, and it's going to be a 4-1.
I believe this is probably a Lights Out victory. I think it's probably going to be a 3-1 final, though. Unless Paul does Paul things. In which case it might very well be a 4-2 or something weirder.
3-3.
Yep.
Paul always does Paul things.
Game number 9. Ghost Legion with 6 wins, one of which was a bye because my opponent was too scared to show up. 2 losses and 0 ties. Up against Dead Man's Hands, 6 wins, 1 actual loss, and 1 tie game. Now, I exaggerate because Cal was out of country on a vacation like he does every year, so not actually scared to face me. And we played on Tuesday or Sunday, or we played recently off game, and he whooped me 4-1 anyway. So, that being said, I think this is going to be a 4-4 tie game. We are going to murder the ever-living crap out of each other.
For real.
I'm going into this game with the same attitude. I am just going to stomp on your head and do everything I can to cause you grief, which kind of feeds into your thug mentality gameplay.
Yep.
So I could completely believe that we are going to tie. I know I jumped in ahead of you, Laura. I just had to because I had to respond to this BS. The problem is I think it could be a tie. I'm going to go with a tie. 3-3, though. We're going to have 2 mechs laying on the ground trying to slap at each other.
10 hexes away, trying to prop and fire.
Hey, the best man tie.
Oh my god. It's going to be absolutely ridiculous.
Oh, I'm going to play smart. I'm just going to play aggressive.
Realistically, I think it's going to be 4-2 for somebody and then just flip a coin. But I also see the possibility of a 4-4 tie.
The fix is in if we actually pull a tie out of this, eh?
That's why we have witnesses.
I think Lee wants to win more. I think Dead Man's Hand's gonna win. Screw your guys' tie. Yeah, Dead Man's Hand, 4-3.
Game number 10, we have the Steel Shod Shambles. With a record of 3 wins, 1 of which is a bye win, 5 losses and 0 ties, they're up against the First Alliance Grenadiers with 5 wins, 3 losses, and 0 ties. Well, thanks to Brett reminding me 2, 3, 4 times during the recording of this, it is actually a bye win for the First Alliance Grenadiers, as the Steel Shod Shamble cannot show up and cannot reschedule. So they give it to it, and believe me, everybody, you're not going to hear it, but I did a big ramble before Brett corrected me.
Just leave it in, too.
I ain't doing that.
So it's a 2-0 bye win for the First Alliance Grenadiers. Game number 11, Hank's Handies, with 6 wins, 2 losses, and 0 ties, up against the Wendigos Night Stalkers with 4 wins, 3 losses, and 1 tie.
Oh, how are you ever going to call this one, Brett? This is like the 2 people you suck hole most about.
Tie game, 3-3. I like this. I think it could go either way. I actually don't care who wins this game. I know they're going to have a good time, but this is probably my 2 favorite players in the league right now. Darren, because he's been a friend for like 25 years, and Jay is my favorite new friend. So, officially, I think this is going to be Wendigos Night Stalkers 4-3.
But you got the prediction about the prediction wrong, Laura.
Whoa, you're going against Darren?
Yeah, he's been smack talking me lately, so
He's been smack talking a lot of people.
at least I remember who he is and know all about him. Right, Lee?
Who? Hank's Handies was a 4-2 victory for me. Wendigos Night Stalkers, I just played them with 3-2. They both fought really hard, and with Hank's Handies, my dice were just super hot. Wendigos Night Stalkers made me earn every inch of territory I took. I think Hank's Handies has a really strong, really capable lance. If his luck is good, he's going to win this one. I can say Hank's Handies is going to take it, but it's going to be a 3-2. See, Darren, I'm paying attention to you now.
Only took him a season and a half.
Yeah, right.
He played last season?
Yeah, he ran the Kodiak last year.
Wow. Remember the one I killed?
What I ignored, the team I ignored for most of the season until like, holy Christ, these guys are doing good.
Yeah, they went like 6-0 in their first 6 games, with losing like 2 mechs in the whole first 6 games.
I was just like, who? Yeah. Who the heck are these guys?
I'm going to agree with Lee. It's going to be a Hanks Handy's win. But I'm agreeing with Brett's score. I think Darren's going to take it 4-3.
Gunslinger doing work.
Game number 12, House Psychotic Weasel with 2 wins, 3 losses, and 3 ties, versus the Neutro Reavers with 7 wins, 1 loss, and 0 ties.
I think House Psychotic Weasel's going to pull a rabbit out of the hat this one. Chris is actually JP's kryptonite. Doesn't matter how, where, when, what it is. House Psychotic Weasels 3-2.
I think you're right. I mean, Chris is coming off of a loss, but I think sometimes it makes him want to win more. I think Chris is going to win. I gotta agree 100% with Brett. House Psychotic Weasel 3-2.
This bandwagon is so comfy. These pillows are just so enjoyable to sit on. It's got to be Neutro Reavers. I think House Psychotic Weasel has Neutro Reavers' number, so it's going to be probably the closest game that JP's played this year. It's going to be a 4-3. Game number lucky 13. We have the Ice Creamers, 4 wins, 2 losses, 2 ties, up against the Red Sun Irregulars, 6 wins, 1 loss, 1 tie. Aaron versus Gary. What a great combination here.
It's like B-side playoffs all over again.
I know, and both guys are upper players. Like they've got the game. You don't hear a whole lot of flashiness out of Gary. Aaron won't keep his mouth shut, but that's okay. You got to make up for certain things by talking a lot. I should know. I want to see the Ice Creamers win because I need the Red Sun Irregulars to take at least 1 loss for me to have any chance of taking 2nd place. So I'm going to say Ice Creamers win. It's going to be a very close 4-2.
This game, it could go either way. These are both like B Division champions, A-level contender players, and Gary's been having a really good season. Aaron, not so much. Aaron isn't playing to his strengths this year. I think the Red Sun's going to rise one more time, and we're going to see a 4-2 Red Suns victory.
I think the Ice Creamers are going to win. I think it's going to be closer than 4-2. I actually think Ice Creamers are going to go 4-3.
Game number 14, Risten's Rogues, with 4 wins, 1 loss, and 3 ties, chasing Laura for tie game records, up against Scions of Amaris. 6 wins, 1 loss, 1 tie. I think this is going to be a Scions game because he wants it more, and Jeff is kind of just sort of here playing this year. But I think it's going to be 4-2 Scions victory.
I'd love to see this one played out to its full capability. It'd probably be possibly the game of the year. I'm going to go agree with you. Scions of Amaris, I think it's going to be a 4-2. Sounds good as well.
Well, I was going to call this one a tie, till Brett pointed out that OG's got the same amount of ties as I do. Or close to catching me.
I think you're at 4 now.
I am at 4, but if I give him this tie...
If he ties this game, then he'll tie you. So to heck with that news. He can't have a tie this game.
No, he's not allowed.
Sorry, Jeff. It's a win or a loss, one way or the other.
I know he doesn't want to win, but I think he still will. I think Risten's Rogues, I think their dice are just going to be hotter than Jeff's. There'll be a Risten's Rogues, despite his effort of just having fun. 4-3. Game number 15, Wards Werewolves with 3 wins, 5 losses, and 0 ties, go up against the Paxton's Pathfinders with 3 wins, 5 losses, and 0 ties. Well, I think this is officially my tie game of the week. They're both playing quite strong games, and I honestly can't choose between the two. I think it's going to be a 3-3 tie.
Wards Werewolves have significantly better mechs, but he just seems to be having troubles pulling together victories. Paxton's Pathfinders has a good lance, good skill spends. Matter of fact, they both have great skill spends. Their luck is not showing. They have had great seasons compared to previous seasons, so they're winners no matter how you look at this. I'm going to say the Wards Werewolves are going to win the game, though. It's going to be their 4th win, and it's going to be a 3-1.
WWW 3-1? Yeah, I can see that happening. Wards Werewolves just have so much clan large pulse that I think that's what's going to swing it in their favor.
Oh, and their Daishi, 2 clan ERP BCs, 2 Gauss rifles with a targeting computer.
That'll take something 10 off.
That by itself should be dropping 2 mechs a match. Game number 16. We have the Warthog's Revenge. 4 wins, 3 losses, 1 tie. They're up against the Collection Agency. 3 wins, 3 losses, 2 ties. These two are extremely tight in the standings. Brandon is playing with a bit of a mission. He wants to do better than he ever has before. Cal's just been solidly improving and getting better every game. This is going to be very close to a tie. I think it's going to be a 3-2, and it's going to be for the Warthogs. I think they're going to be top B, if not pull in the bottom of A.
I am going to go with the inverse of that. I think the Collection Agency is going to manage to haywire everything and then just manage to squeak out a 3-2 victory themselves.
I do agree with Brett. I think it is going to be the Collection Agency winning. I think he's actually going to get all 4 of the Warthog mechs. I think it'll be a 4-2.
Well, everybody, it has been another fantastic week, another show. We are rapidly coming to 3/4 of the way of our 4th season. We've had so many videos and hours and views and everything. It's amazing. We don't have the largest subscriber base, but we don't need it because we have great people like you. Thank you so much for joining us. You have a great night, and talk to you guys at the next show.
We do have 319 subscribers, though. So tell your friends, tell your enemies, tell everybody you know, and help us try and get to that 350, as that's our next goal. Thanks again, everybody, for coming out and listening to the show, and we will see you next time.
And don't forget, we do have the sign-up sheet for the potluck and the gift exchange. Please make sure you sign up if you're going to bring something or participate. And like John did this week, check about allergies. We don't have many food allergies in the group, but
Nuts
we
and
also
fish,
don't know
apparently.
who has them. Nuts and fish, tuna. It's not all fish.
Tuna and tuna-like fish.
Yeah. But you never know unless you ask. So, sign up. Let us know what you got. I'm not sure if Heather has limited the spots, because I honestly haven't looked at the sheet yet. So if you feel like you want to bring an appetizer, sign up for it before all the spots are gone. That's it. That's all. Talk to everybody next week.
Bye-bye.